Hi there, my name is Max and I'm a tutor here at Britson. Have you ever been told that your writing is too descriptive or that you need to focus more on critical analysis and less on explanations? Well, if that's the case, don't worry, many native English speakers also have the same problem. But in this video, we're going to look at how we can make your writing less descriptive and more analytical. So let's get started. So first of all, we should probably define what we mean by description and analysis. So description means that you're explaining events, you're giving information about facts or a specific situation, and you're essentially relaying information. So this kind of writing is very common in historical textbooks, and it has a very good use when you want to simply explain something that's past. So let's take a look at a few examples of descriptional writing. The French Revolution happened in 1789 because people were dissatisfied with the government. English has become the world's most widely spoken language. House prices tend to be much higher in cities than in the countryside. So in all of these cases, we're simply giving information, but we're not explaining why it's important. So it's descriptional, but there's no analytical element to the writing. So it's important to note that description is an important skill to know when writing, and you might need to use it for these specific contexts. Number one would be providing historical context for a topic, giving details about a particular situation, such as a political state or a country, describing a process. The methodology section of a dissertation is also where we would use this. And finally, describing a theory or explaining another author's opinion. So as you can see, description is a really useful technique for many types of writing, but in academic writing, it won't be enough. You're going to need to analyze the writing critically. So this is one of the most common criticisms that students get, that their writing is too descriptive. It explains too much, but it doesn't give a critical angle. It isn't analytical enough. So what is analysis? So if we've seen that description simply explains what something is or states facts, analysis is when we ask a question of why. Why is it that way? So in other words, analysis looks at the consequences or impacts of a situation. It describes why these facts are important rather than just stating what they are. And most importantly, it will relate this to the overall argument of your essay. So we're going to look at a few examples now of how to move descriptional writing into analytical writing. Let's go through these together. So saying what happened, explaining the impact or effect of what happened, explaining a theory, explain why the theory is relevant to your argument, state which methods were used, explain whether these methods were appropriate, say when something happened, explain why the timing was important. Explain how something works. Explain why this is positive or negative. So as I hope you can see, in description, you're just stating what something is, but in analytical writing, you're always asking a question. So let's take a look at the original descriptive sentences and see how we can make them more analytical. Number one. The French Revolution happened in 1789 because the people were dissatisfied with their government. That's a descriptive example. The ideas of this revolution have influenced modern French society and Europe as a whole. So now it's becoming more analytical. We're explaining why it's important. Example number two. English has become the world's most widely spoken language. Now let's make that analytical. As a result, many minority and regional languages are disappearing. So we're giving context, we're explaining. Example number three. House prices tend to be much higher in the cities than in the countryside. Now our analysis. This can cause inequality issues as poorer people cannot afford to live in urban areas and take advantage of the opportunities available there. So that's all from us today about descriptional and analytical writing. So just remember, when you're writing, always ask yourself the question, why is this important? Why am I putting this into my essay? If I'm simply giving information, I want to ask, why is it relevant to my argument? How can I expand it? How can I turn it analytical? So I hope this video has been useful to you, but if you're still struggling or you're still coming across a few obstacles in your writing, please feel free to contact Britsen's editing department and one of us would be more than happy to help out. And finally, please remember to follow us on Instagram to stay up to date with more news coming out from us. I hope you enjoy your day.